Detlev Parow from the DAK, Deutsche Angestelltenkasse. It's the third biggest German sick fund, and he's head of the department Versorgungsmanagement. And it fits nicely to Nigel's presentation because he will give us a view from a payer, from an organization who pays for treatment, paying from a statutory health insurance point of view. Thank you.
Thank you, Roman, for the introduction, and thanks to the organizers for inviting me and for the chance to give you a payer's point of view on pain. Ladies and gentlemen, pain is not only a topic for patients or physicians, of course, it's also a topic for payers. And not just only because of the budget impact, but also under the aspect of care concepts and selective contracting. I would like to give you a few impressions from the payer's perspective. Okay, just a few words about DAK. DAK is the third largest German health insurance company, the statutory health insurance company. We have about 6.5 million injuries, and last year we spent about 18.4 billion euro for healthcare services and about 3.9 billion euro on drugs, and drugs only prescribed by doctors in the ambulance sector. Okay. Well, what you can see here is our magic triangle. It's the triangle of the customer's benefit, the quality, and the cost efficiency. It's very, very important, and it's the basis of our work. The amount of money in the system is limited, and therefore we have to look where to spend the money and try to get the best quality, to be cost efficient, and that our customers get any benefit from what we do, and of course what the doctors do. And it's easy to understand that these 3 points of a triangle are conflicting goals, and only the balance of these three conflicting goals makes it profitable on the long term for all parties involved, for the patients, the doctors, and the payers. Later on, I would like to talk about selective contracting, and the balanced triangle will guide us through the presentation, because it's a very important criterion, if not the criterion, if the contract is a hit or if it's a flop. We do not know exactly how much money we spend for drugs, for the pain treatment, because we don't have the indication for the prescription, so we just can see the drug. And I took these ATC codes from an atlas that we published some years ago, an atlas on pain, together with Greenthal, Aegis, and the AOK. And you can see it has a lot of impact to the budget, and it's a lot of drugs prescribed here. And if you see the ranking over here, you see it's all within the top 100 of DAK, and the total amount we spend is about 5% of our drug budget just for pain. I know that the first group has also other indications, but it's also used for pain treatment. About 30% of our patients have at least one prescription per year, and it's about 30 DDD, which is a daily defined dose. It's just a measurement for drugs. So it should be the drug for 30 days. And if you, the total amount of drugs is about 145,000 patient years, which is quite a lot, just prescribed within 1 year. And it's only the prescription by the ambulant practitioners, because the the drugs inside the hospitals are covered by the DRG system. We don't have to pay for them separately. And of course, there is a huge market of OTC pain medication, which we do not know how much is spent there. Pain is not only a topic for the payers, but is also a topic for AMNOG. And AMNOG is a very much discussed topic at the moment in Germany because of the new drugs accessing the market. And in pain, we don't have additional days of survival or progression-free survival or mortality and so on. But we have the quality of life. And quality of life is one of the topics here to measure the additional benefit of drugs. And one measurement is the EQ5D to show whether there is a benefit for the patient or not. These are the key questions for a payer, whether our members are treated right or not. And I just want to point out a few. What can we as payers do to provide better services? And if we contract, how do we make sure that the right patient gets the appropriate level of treatment? And I'll try to answer these questions later. This is the challenge we are facing in the treatment of pain. Pain patients like to have an easy access to treatment and to drugs if he has a mild pain, and he wants a targeted specialized treatment in case of severe pain. That is this. The provider wants to cover the whole range, which is perhaps not possible. And the pharmaceutical industry and all employees from Grünenthal, please close your ears now. They want, of course, to sell new expensive drugs and make their profit. And our goal as payers is an appropriate treatment for the patient in need at the time and the place he needs it, and from appropriate qualified specialist. We consider that selective contracting is the key to achieve the goals, our goals, and to create something new to complement the standard of care. Selective contracting gives us the possibility to create cross-sector healthcare services for specific target groups. But as you can see on the right-hand side, it's something with a lot of challenges, and it's not a start-to-finish victory. Pain is just not simply pain. There are many different types of patients, and we have a very, very different regional structure in Germany. Close to the big cities, there is no problem with pain treatment, but abroad it's very difficult because there are not no doctors, but very few doctors and no specialists. Contract development for us means a continuous process of learning, and it's a process of trial and error. It's analysis, it's assessment, it's testing, and if it's successful, it has to be established as regular care. And if it's not successful, it has to be changed or it has to be terminated. I would like to show you 3 different types of contracts for the treatment of pain we've closed in the past. And it's about real contracts, and they all have been evaluated for the benefits and costs. Let's start with the unsuccessful one. It was a contract about migraine and headache, and the intention was an optimized patient-oriented treatment. The result was additional spending for healthcare, in addition and not without any replacement of regular care. It was just an add-on to the regular care. And perhaps that would have been tolerable if it would be only for the target group. But the main problem was that too many easy patients participated in this selective approach. Easy in the sense that even a general practitioner could have easily treated these patients. They don't need a specialist, they don't need a special approach, they don't need a special contract, they don't need a special concept. We renegotiated this contract, but at the end we terminated it because it was not efficient. And the triangle you can see, there was a small benefit for the patient, yes, but there was no really improvement of quality and it was not cost efficient. Secondly, I want to show you a contract that was partly successful. It was a contract for the treatment of backache, and the intention was an early intervention to prevent chronification. The result was more ambulant treatment, a shorter duration of the disease, less disability days, which means we really had a temporary success. But what we did not have was sustainability. And once again, the problem was too many easy cases, so that at the end, the treatment costs outvalued the savings. We are still negotiating to make this a successful contract. And you can see we already have 2 points that are positive. At last, I want to show you a successful contract. And it would be much more satisfying to tell you a brilliant story of success, but to be honest, so far we have neither found the philosopher's stone, nor have we found the master plan to an overall successful contract. That means we are still trying and looking for a balanced magic triangle with equally customer benefits, increase of quality, and cost efficiency. The result should be a sustainable improvement of pain disease and, on the long term, a significant reduction of the utilization of healthcare resources. We are still optimistic and perhaps a little bit skeptical, and we are looking forward to closing this overall successfully contract. As I've told you sometimes, the common problem is to get the right patient to the right contract or to deliver the right care concept for him. There are too often too many easy cases inside a contract, and this means diluting the potential success of the selective contract. A selective contract needs a clearly defined and narrow target group, and the definition must be easy and simple to understand, and it must be defined jointly by the contracting parties. And of course, the service provider has to stick to this definition. What we see often is exactly the contrary. To attract more participants, the initial inclusion criteria are softened by and by, and the treatment becomes relatively more expensive, and the potential cost efficiency is diminished. So what are the success factors? Only the right target group must be included. The care concept must be accepted by the patient. The contract has to be evaluated and prove its efficiency. For the treatment, innovative concepts are needed. They must be beneficial for the patient, and they must be distributed at an affordable price. And of course, we need a regional healthcare provider structure to form an integrated healthcare concept. DAK is interested to implement innovative approaches and concepts. The one-fits-all contract is a fiction, and successfully contract must be tailored to the target group and needs a risk-adjusted performance monitoring. And what is the message at the end? The issue of pain is so complex that we must tackle it together. Even though we closed since 2004 quite a few integrated care contracts, we are still looking for the one and all successful contract, and we are still in the trial phase. We are convinced that testing innovative care concept will bring us closer to our aim, the balanced triangle of equally customer benefit, increasing quality and cost efficiency. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Now we have the payers' view. I'm sure there will be some questions. If not, may I start with a simple question? We heard the main wish from a patient perspective is education of physicians. Could you imagine, you said it's a too widespread use of drugs in some cases. A drug is developed for a certain indication, but then industry, whatever, it spreads. Could you imagine that a better education, proven education of physicians, for example, would allow you easier access for the drug to the market, but restricted to physicians who have a special education?
Okay. Yeah, that's the problem of the target group. And if a drug accesses the market, it's meant for a specific target group. Mm-hmm. But what we see in reality is that everybody gets it because it's new. Mm-hmm. And this, of course, is a big problem to us because new drugs are expensive. And they often replace drugs that, especially for pain, are old, efficient, and cost nearly nothing.
I understand. So the new drug has a benefit, but for a very limited group of patients.
Yeah.
It's prescribed much too easily, too much. And therefore my question, if you have a physicians group, for example, a specialized pain specialist, proven pain specialists, whom you trust, they will prescribe the drugs only for those patients who really need it.
Right.
Would this be an approach? Would this be a possible solution?
Yes, that's what we tried with our selective contracting. Okay. And sometimes it works, but very often it fails because there are still too many too easy patients inside this contract.
Okay. Further questions?
Thank you very much for your presentation. You mentioned that one of the critical success factors for you is having objective measures. What, from your perspective, would mean that in the case of pain?
Well, regarding our contracts, we can only measure the economic side. We can't measure pain because we don't have the data. But we are measuring all our contracts with propensity score matching to see whether they are efficient or not. Well, we don't have any patient data to see what happens about the quality of life and so on. And we are not allowed to put these data together, even if we had them.
Okay, from the panel, thanks very much. Thank you.